For a session presented by American Express Travel, please welcome to the stage the Vice President and General Manager of Global Lounge Experiences at American Express Travel, Amy Bernard, in conversation with Skift President Carolyn Kremins.
Hey. Amy, thanks for coming back. We had the pleasure of having you last year, and we talked everything Centurion Lounge. So, what have you been up to lately? I know you had 2 lounges that open. This past year, you had one in Salt Lake City and one in Tokyo, right? In the Haneda, is that right? Haneda Airport. So one of the things that you mentioned last year when we spoke is how Centurion likes to really tap into the localness, if you will, the local culture and amenities when you bring a lounge to life. So what makes 2 very distinct markets, Salt Lake City, Utah, and Tokyo, what makes them different and unique?
Yeah, they're both very different, and I'll say it's been a really exciting year of global expansion for the Centurion Lounge Network. Not only did we open the 2 new lounges that you mentioned, we also announced that we'll be opening a Centurion Lounge at Amsterdam at Schiphol Airport. We also announced that we'll be opening a new lounge concept called Sidecar in Las Vegas early next year. But I'll talk a little bit about our new lounges in Tokyo at Haneda and Salt Lake City. They're very different and both very special. There are some common elements of the Centurion Lounge experience so that every time you walk in, you know you're coming to an American Express Centurion Lounge. For example, the person who greets you is an American Express colleague. They know how long you've been a member since, and they'll give you that warm greeting. You can always see the living wall of greenery when you walk in. You can always expect fresh, from scratch, healthy food in all of our lounges, but we draw inspiration from the place that our lounges are located. So I'll talk a little bit about our lounge in Tokyo at Haneda Airport. We worked really closely with our team in Japan in developing that lounge and thinking through how we wanted to bring it to life. We're a very global company. We have a large business in Japan, and we wanted that lounge to really feel special, both for our local Japanese card members as well as for our global card members. And just starting with the design, we have Japanese blue throughout and local art from artists from across the country, and it gives the space a sense of tranquility and calm that I really love, and the food is outstanding. So not only do we have the buffet, but our card members can actually go to a live cooking station and get sushi, ramen. Our Japanese curry is outstanding. There's a sweets bar with traditional Japanese wagashi sweets. It's absolutely incredible. I could probably eat there every day of my life and be happy with that. And then in Salt Lake City, we really drew inspiration from the natural beauty of Utah and the outdoor spirit in that area. And so when you walk in, there's a beautiful picture behind me of the Hearth Room. It feels like you're entering into a ski lodge. And I would say 2 of my favorite spaces in that lounge are our recovery room and our outdoor terrace. So the recovery room is really meant for our guests who have been skiing or hiking in the area to be able to come in, use compression boots, other wellness amenities, and recharge before their flight. Our outdoor terrace is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's got beautiful views of the mountain. It's an all-weather terrace with heat lamps, and it's covered, so perfect place to have a drink and get a breath of fresh air before your flight. So I'm very proud of the 2 lounges we opened this year. And
yeah, very cool. Has anyone been to either of them? No? I like that recovery room. So lounges, I mean, it's becoming an even more competitive space. We just heard Southwest is opening a lounge, we think. And you have all the airlines, the credit cards, and so on. So you are really one of the first lounges to come to be, certainly from a financial institution, right? And how do you stay ahead with all this competition?
Yeah. So, lounges are really a core part of our business and the way that we deliver value to our card members. We have over 30 lounges globally. As you said, we were the first financial services company to have lounges in airports. We opened our first Centurion Lounge 12 years ago. Actually, our lounge here at DFW is 12 years old. It's one of our oldest. And so we're obsessed with our customers. We draw inspiration from how our customers use our lounges, what they tell us that they love about the lounges, what they wish that they had. And we also have this breadth and depth of operational experience in knowing what works and what doesn't. And we build on that to innovate. So I'll call out a few things that we've been doing differently. We've opened coffee and wellness bars in a few of our lounges. Seattle, JFK in New York, and our new lounge in Salt Lake all have these. So our card members love coffee, so you can get barista-made craft coffee drinks in those lounges. They also have green juices and smoothies and nutrient-dense bites, so it's also a great place to just stop by if you don't want a full meal. So it's been able to extend our offering in that way. We also fully revamped our food and beverage program this year with the Culinary Collective by the Centurion Lounge. And then we also announced that we'll be opening a new smaller format lounge, so different experience, it's called Sidecar, and that'll be opening in Las Vegas.
I don't know if you guys have seen the coffee bar, but I've experienced it in JFK, and it's great. It just feels like a really kind of like cool coffee space that you can chill in. They have the high tops. You get your own drink, the way you typically would order it at Starbucks or something.
I agree. It's a great, distinct space within the lounge.
So I know food and beverage has always been sort of at the top of the list for Centurion, and I think you're really known for having that kind of really good opportunities to taste different flavors and stuff like that. So what is this Culinary Collective? Is that like a new kind of change for you? I know you were going into local chefs at one point. What is that?
That's right. So this is a complete overhaul. But to your point, food has always been a cornerstone of the Centurion Lounge offering. We were one of the first lounges to put full high-risk kitchens in our lounges to really create everything from scratch. And when Resy became an American Express company in 2019, that brought us even closer to the hospitality and dining space. And, look, some of the most sought-after restaurants in the world are only available and bookable on Resy, and we know those chefs. And we said, what if we could bring those incredible culinary experiences that are so sought after into our lounges? So we worked with our Resy team and assembled an all-star lineup of amazing chefs. Kwame Nwachi of Tatiana, Mashama Bailey of The Gray, Sarah Grunberg from Monteverde, and Mike Salamana from Laser Wolf Zahab. These are really hard restaurants to get into, and they give us recipes, they train our team, they help us design the menus for all of the Centurion lounges. And we've been putting out some really great stuff lately, like a shrimp boil from Kwame, sweet potato pancakes from Mashama. I can't tell you how many times in the last few months I've been in our lounges and tried something and said, wow, that's the best fill in the blank that I've ever had. So food has always been a really important part of our offering, and this is allowing us to really up our game even further.
Do you ever have the chefs come into the lounges?
They do. And so these chefs are celebrities in their own right. They're at the top of their game, but they spend a lot of time with our team. Anytime they're traveling, they stop in, they meet with our kitchen team, and sometimes they'll actually cook for our card members. So it's been a really great partnership.
Yeah, I can see that, private dinners or something like that with the chefs. I don't know why I'm giving you ideas. You have plenty of them.
Love the
But tell me about Sidecar. You mentioned that before.
Yes.
What is that concept right now out, or what is it?
We are building. I'm actually going to see it to Vegas right after this. So this is a real full-service circle moment for us. Las Vegas was the site of our first Centurion Lounge, and it's going to be the site of our first Sidecar, which is just a couple minutes walk away from our main larger lounge. And this is born out of customer insights, where we know that most of the visitors to our lounges are traveling either by themselves or in a pair, and they don't come with that much time to spare at the airport. And so what they really want is a quiet place to sit down, have a meal, recharge, and go on their way on the flight. And so Sidecar is going to operate a little bit more like a restaurant. Everything's going to be complimentary, just as it is in our main lounge, but guests will be seated by a server. They'll order food off of an a la carte menu. It'll be a little bit of a quieter experience. You can see the design here. It's very elevated. It's going to have a little bit of a speakeasy vibe, drawing from the cocktail culture of Las Vegas. But we're really excited to launch this. We've been working on it for some time, and we hope our card members love it.
So it's not a lounge within the lounge. It's a separate concept that will live separately.
Correct.
Would you have two in the same terminal, or are they meant to be separate?
They go alongside. It's the name sidecar denotes it's a different concept, but also it's complementary to the main lounge. And so that's the vision right now, and we're going to learn and see where we go from here.
So I know one of the things that for all of us who travel a lot and go to the lounges, and it's sometimes the demand, right? There's certain times of the day and evening that it becomes really crowded. So the demand is high. How do you manage the spaces and the capacity, and so that you're dealing with your premium tier members, so you don't disappoint?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I think you're spot on. The demand is high. I think we hit on something really special when we opened the first Centurion Lounge 12 years ago, and our card members love them. And that's why we keep investing in them. That's why we keep building more, trying to make them even bigger, better. And so I would say the new lounges that we have opened in the last few years in the U.S. are much larger. Salt Lake City is 18,000 square feet. That's our second largest lounge. Atlanta is 26,000 square feet. And then we've expanded several of our lounges already. We've expanded our lounges in LaGuardia, Miami, San Francisco, Seattle, and we're constantly talking to airports about opportunities to get more space. We're also working to make the space that we have more efficient. So a great example of that is we're renovating our JFK lounge right now, and we're going to make that seating much more optimal so that we can have a better flow. And so we're always looking for opportunities like that. I'd say also we're launching new digital tools that make it easier for card members to know what to expect. And I would say no matter how big the lounge is, in an airport, there's always going to be times when there's flight delays or it's just peak travel time, there will be a wait. Our card members can, and the vast majority of visitors to Centurion Lounges do not have to wait, but you can actually now go on the Amex mobile app and tap onto the Centurion Lounge you're planning to visit. And if there is a wait, you can add yourself to the wait list, get a text when we're ready for you. We'll give you an ETA. So customers can now do that on their way to the airport. They don't have to physically go to the lounge. So we're investing in capabilities like that as well.
That's awesome. Well, we have run out of time, unfortunately. I have so many more questions to ask you, but thank you for doing what you do and making travel just that much better.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you.